everyone, welcome to today's episode of Fanservice. Today we have Timesplitters Rewind project lead Michael on the Skype, where we're going to be talking all things Monkey Justice and all sorts of fun things behind it. Chris Rachel has seen Ender's Game after last week's rant against Orson Scott Card. Plus we have game time with the game stick. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, it's Fanservice. But it's time to get down to the whole reason I'm so excited about this show. For those who've watched us and know me, you know that I'm a Timesplitters fanatic.
It's true.
I screamed, Rooster Teeth Expo, I screamed out Monkey Justice as much as possible in front of all these Halo people who looked like I was crazy. So I've been following this project called Timesplitters Rewind pretty much since it was announced.
You've brought it up several times on the show, yeah.
Yes.
He's been super psyched.
I am so excited because we have the project head on with us today via Skype. His name is Michael.
And we have a nice extended interview going on with him.
Yeah, so everyone say hi to Michael. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hi, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
So we're going to start off with a Timesplitters gauntlet. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to just give me the answer that's off the top of your head. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. What is your favorite level from the entire Timesplitters series?
Ice Station.
Ice Station. I would have gone with Planet X, but
okay.
you know. All right. What's your favorite weapon?
S-47.
Ah, see, I'm with the brick. I'm just like throwing rocks at people.
I love the fact that you're treating it as though his answers are wrong. Like, oh, your favorite? No, that doesn't matter. My favorite's all that counts.
I'd ask you, but you haven't played the games yet, which we'll get to that in a second. All right, what's your favorite multiplayer game mode?
Capture the Bag would actually have to be it.
Capture the Bag, it was really fun. I used to love doing that one. All right, what's your favorite character to play as?
Viola.
I'm always about the monkeys, apparently. The RoboCop monkey was always my favorite.
Everybody's about the monkeys for some reason. I don't know why.
Fun. They looked really dumb. They had those little mouths, and they were annoying. That's why I think we all liked them. Next up, what's your favorite game in the series, 1, 2, or 3?
Future Perfect.
Future Perfect was really good.
Okay.
I think that's where they kind of refined everything and we're ready to go forward, and then, you know, what happened. All right, here's the bonus question. What video game character would you like to see thrown into Timesplitters to face down Monkey Justice? Any game character, any system. What do you want to see get their asses handed to them in Timesplitters?
Probably going to have to be Master Chief at this point.
I'm going to totally agree with that one.
Not the ball from Pong?
Not the ball from Pong, because the ball from Pong would probably win. It probably would be a character in Timesplitters at some point in time. That's how it is. So, I have Chris Rachel here, and she has never played Timesplitters before. So
I'm an inferior human being.
Kind of what it is in a nutshell.
Timesplitters is essentially, well, how can I explain it in a nutshell? It's kind of complicated.
Imagine that you're pitching it to people that have never heard of it, who might want to pick it up because there's a whole new game coming out.
It's a fast-paced, wacky, zany, fun game where you play as over 300 different characters, essentially, and the single player is fantastic. It's like Doctor Who without the Doctor, and from there.
I appreciate you sucking up to me. You should also let people know it's a first-person shooter, right?
It is, in fact, a first-person shooter.
So, how long have you been playing Timesplitters, Michael?
Oh God, I'm 24, and I think it came out when I was at least 12, so 12 years?
Half his life has been dedicated to this
one
one game.
So you just woke up one day and decided, hey, you know what? I want to bring back Timesplitters. Is that kind of how it happened?
Actually, no. What ended up happening was when everybody was petitioning for Timesplitters 4, Daniel Wazzoli actually started that. What happened was they got enough attention to get Crytek's blessing to work on a Timesplitters game, a community-made Timesplitters game. And I initially joined on as a community manager doing just to interact with the community and things like that. And then eventually I took over the project because I had some game development experience and stuff. I took over the project and it just kind of took off from there. We kept in touch with Crytek. We started off focusing on multiplayer. And then eventually we decided, since we're already going this mile, let's go the extra mile and just after multiplayer, let's focus on the single player and get that done too.
So have you gotten to meet the original team that started Timesplitters?
Not yet, but we are scheduling a visit to the Crytek UK offices to meet the original team.
Oh my God. So you're getting, what is the first question you want to ask them? Like, do you want to say, what were you smoking when you came up with mobster whales with fish fingers? I mean, what's the one thing you really want to ask the original team?
Are you actually going to be working on Timesplitters 4 yet?
See, that's a good question. Because they teased Timesplitters 4, they were making fun of Halo and all that stuff, and then we all know poor Free Radical got the rug pulled out from underneath it, and then people were just kind of left out in the open. But, Timesplitters has this really cult-like following almost.
I approve of cults. I have one of my own.
Now, Chris Rachel had an interesting theory, but I want to hear yours first. Why do you think people didn't latch on to Timesplitters the way they did with Halo and Call of Duty and all these cookie-cutter warfare ones?
Not that he's the tiniest bit biased.
No, not at all.
I think what happened was, at the time of, how can I put this? I think what may have happened was the market was pretty saturated with a bunch of games as it was. I mean, I think around the time of PlayStation 2, you already had, I can't even think right off the bat. This was a question I wasn't even prepared for.
That's why we like doing what we do.
So you can make a skilled man look unprepared? Horrible human being. You're a horrible human being.
Yeah.
Medal of Honor. And let's see, I think Quake came around the time at that time too. There was just a bunch of games that came out at that same time that I guess forced Timesplitters to be overlooked. But I mean, it did create a cult following, and over that time, over a period of time, it has brought more people in than you would actually expect.
So my theory is a lot of it is tied to the economy, namely in the forms of humor. When things are going well, we really like to be entertained and like funny things out there. And when things are going poorly, we just want some vengeance against the fact that everything, like you've lost your job, etc. What do you want to do? Get out there and just shoot people in the head or play Grand Theft Auto or whatever. And so I have a feeling that it might have been the right game at the wrong time because the economy wasn't really doing great when this came out, and I just don't think that people were in the mood for a fun, lighthearted thing, which is a shame because I love fun, lighthearted games.
Yeah, well, I'd be probably inclined to agree. I mean, I think at the time the economy wasn't right for this type of game. The market wasn't necessarily right, but at the same time, it absolutely was because at that time, it was essentially the golden age of gaming, as a lot of people still say. Timesplitters is that childhood game that everybody remembers playing, just like they remember playing Super Mario Brothers and the original Donkey Kong iteration of it, where Mario was going up the ladder.
So, as you've been working on this whole project, it's just kind of, did you ever imagine it getting as big as it is right now?
Oh, God, no. When we first started it, I mean, we were excited to be even given the opportunity to work on it. And then when we announced the title of the game and our intentions with the project and stuff like that, I mean, it took off from there. I've never seen my inbox as full as it is. Usually I get the occasional IGN email, Kotaku, my favorite gaming websites, but now it's hey, we are so happy that you're working on this project. Is there anything I can do to help you? Or hey, your project has open dialogue and it's actually bringing my family back together. I've actually had a couple of people say that they've been motivated to go back to school and get an education to go into the gaming industry and stuff. So it's changing people's lives all over again, just like it did when it first came out.
When you say that you've had some people calling in or emailing in and saying, what can we do to help? Have you been able to actually assign tasks out to people or give them things to do?
I'm sorry, you kind of faded out for just a moment.
When people email you saying, oh, this is so awesome, I want to participate, what can I do to help? Have you actually been able to assign tasks to them or give them things to do?
Well, we do actually have a kind of a strict process that we go through. We're essentially trying to make the next Time Splitters game, the HD collection of the original 3 games and everything. And there's a certain level of quality that needs to be met. I'm not saying some people are bad at what they do or anything.
Some people are very well intentioned.
Yes.
Exactly. We need to make sure we bring people on board who know what they're doing and are capable of actually producing the quality that we need to make sure that Time Splitters makes that comeback that we wanted to have. And it seems like at this point we've actually succeeded in doing that.
I'm kind of curious because it sounds like you've got a lot of media tie-ins with it and some homages to your favorite things. Can you give us an idea of some of your favorite of the tie-ins and homages out there?
What do you mean by tie-ins and homages?
Like, Time Splitters was notorious for giving little nods to other properties in their games. I just thought that was always a fun thing. And she wanted to know if you had a favorite one of those that's actually in the game.
I actually don't. I never really put much thought into that. The majority of what I actually played of the games were the multiplayer aspects. I did play the single player, but as a teenager, once I finished that, I just moved on to the multiplayer, and that's something I enjoyed with my family and friends.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's all about multiplayer when it comes to Time Splitters.
Okay.
They're like Time Splitters Rewind. I was like, I don't care if it has single player. It just needs every level and every character and all the modes, and I'll be fine. Because it was incredibly customizable. You could set bots, you could set different types, you could pick different weapon sets. The sheer amount of customization, which then leads me to my inevitable question for you. You said something about a sandbox mode because Time Splitters was really big for its level editor. Is that something that's going to carry over into Time Splitters Rewind?
The level editor is something that we are working on a solution for. I know everybody wants to have something where they can start the game and be able to create their own custom custom game types, custom maps, and stuff like that. But with what resources we have right now, what we're actually focusing on at this point is saying, okay, at least for the PC for the time being, because we are dabbling in console development and everything. At least for the PC for the time being, we'll release Sandbox, which is the same editor that we're using with the game, and we'll provide full documentation and tutorials on how to use it and make your own custom maps, game types, and stuff like that.
See, what he really desperately wants is Time Splitters Minecraft.
Yeah, basically, build up some crazy levels, which is basically what the level editor was. So one of our staff members, Pocky, had a question he's dying to know about. What about the modding community? Are you going to open this up for mods to be made? Like maybe one day we would see a Doctor Who mod?
Absolutely. In fact, what we are actually working on is hopefully a type of workshop, Steam workshop system, so people in the community can contribute their own gameplay models, their own skins, their own maps, everything, just everything that you could possibly think of. That includes their own custom music tracks. If they wanted to contribute their own music and people liked it, they could subscribe to it just like you could in Steam Workshop and listen to that that specific song and add it to a playlist. Be able to do all sorts of things, all sorts of customization.
Makes me think of last week's guest.
Yes.
That would be awesome to be able to tie in all of Nathan Noise's things and have a whole level you play through while you're listening to that.
Based on the Curse Across the Line. We had a guy who wrote a symphony on last week, and it's an amazing symphony. And we were thinking about how music can set the tone for a stage, so you can entirely change the feel of a level just by the music. So in this whole development cycle, what has been the funniest thing that's happened so far?
Well, when we first started development of Timesplitters Rewind, we actually had this really strange issue with character animations because the characters were moving too fast. And what would end up happening is the characters would end up getting stuck in a certain position when they died, and guns would be firing up into the air and stuff like that. And you couldn't do anything about it. You would actually have to disconnect from the game and reconnect.
Oh, so that's an epic way to go out.
I'm just firing into the void forever.
Yeah. So it was actually a really hilarious bug we encountered, and somehow for some reason I feel like we should just incorporate something like that where like you shoot at a switch and everybody in the server gets stuck like that for like 10 seconds and then that's it. You won't be able to activate it anymore until the next around or something. But
See, that would be like a hilarious unlockable perk, because you know how the games always have the perks?
Oh, yeah.
Epic death. Oh, you freeze and just like shoot in the air for like 10 seconds, then you respawn. That would be really funny, you know?
I agree, actually.
I would totally be monkey justice all over the place, because I don't die
And
as
they
the
could make a
monkey.
lot of money that way, as just paying that out.
Well, the whole thing about this project that it's free, correct?
absolutely.
Oh, so you're not going to be able to get like your Bitcoin that you desperately need to survive.
No, we do accept donations, and that's to help cover the server costs strictly. Outside from that, we're not
Donations.
anticipating on. Yes, we're not anticipating anything like generating revenue or anything like that. But
See, but that's
you know,
fantastic. I love the fact that so many people these days are getting completely passionate about a project like this and just making something amazing happen, even though you're not making any money off of it.
yeah, we're extreme. The screen had just glitched out for some reason.
Yeah, our screen just completely decided it was gremlins in the system. Best laid plans, Sue. What can I tell you?
Well, I mean, it is time splitters, or actually
That's
timing
true.
to
I
split,
actually
so-
am here from last week right now.
Yeah. So, what has been your favorite part of this entire project that you were just so excited about, besides making monkeys and more monkeys and more monkeys and bricks?
He's allowed to like things other than monkeys, you know.
It's a monkey justice.
It is no monkey justice. Actually, the most exciting thing that the most excited. How can I put this? The thing I am most excited for. There we go. The thing I'm most excited for is, in fact, what we have planned for multiplayer. It's not something I can actually reveal just yet.
Curse
but there
you
is
for
something-
teasing me.
It's just between you, me, him, and our entire viewing audience.
Well, what's good for bringing in viewers? Teasers. No, we are planning something very specific for multiplayer. But what I will announce right now is that we are going to be looking for alpha testers here in the next couple of weeks, so that we can actually start alpha testing when we are ready. We want to pull them on board now, so that we can get to know them and they can get to know us.
I'm
So
right here.
it's been good knowing you. I'll see you sometime in 2015.
Yeah, I'll be off in
Okay.
Time Splitters land for quite some time, because I will just be all over it. Now, quickly, because we've got about 3 minutes left, what about this whole console rumor?
Console rumor.
Yeah, that it's going to be coming to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
Well, we are actively working for the consoles. We haven't officially said anything about it or anything like that, which is actually true. It's still unofficial. Crytek still hasn't given us the means to actually work on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, but they haven't said we couldn't. So what we're actually doing is we're just taking it upon ourselves, and when Crytek says go ahead and do it, we're going to go ahead and do it. So at this point, I mean, when the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One comes out, and we're able to test our game on it, then we will test it. And when Crytek's ready, we'll just say, hey, let's have a gander at this. Let's see if it's good.
So I'll ask you, are you an Xbox fanboy or a PlayStation fanboy?
I am, in fact, a all-around guy. I like the Xbox, PlayStation, and
Someone
Steam.
is unwilling to commit, I see.
Yes.
Well, I see everything as has a benefit. Everything has a pros and cons. Okay, everything has pros and cons.
So what you're
PC
saying is this
players-
console's going to be coming to Ouya.
Oh, no.
I love the way he just like, oh, no, we're not going near the Ouya.
No, it's not that. It's just hardware limitations. I honestly feel that Ouya would not be able to handle Timesplitters Rewind.
Yeah, I definitely don't
Again,
think so.
so diplomatic.
So we're aiming for like a Steam release, correct?
We are, in fact, aiming for a Steam release, but we are also wanting to make sure that we offer the like a DRM-free version of it, so that people who do not want to use Steam can play the game with people who are playing on Steam without Steam.
Nice.
I think that's a great thing, because
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, how am I going to play it on the Steam controller? Have you guys gotten to play with the Steam controller yet? Like, are you incorporating the idea of their Steam box and controller into this whole process?
No, not yet. I've been very keen on getting into it. I've signed up for the Steam controller beta, the Steam hardware beta and everything, and hopefully Valve will get back with me and say, hey, here you go, like, have at it. But right now, I mean, we do have, Xbox controllers that we can hook up to our computers and test with it and everything. But until then, I haven't had my hands on the Steam controller. I really want to know.
So for people that are dying like him to sign up for the alpha test, what will they actually need to do to get on the right list for that?
Well, when we are ready to start accepting alpha testers, we're going to put a page up on the website, just like we do with everything else. We're going to put a page up on the website with full details explaining what a non-disclosure agreement is and the terms of actually testing and everything, so that everybody fully understands what we're expecting and what we're actually trying to accomplish with the testing.
So your requirements are going to be like your firstborn child, sign this in blood, hey, we own your soul type of thing?
Maybe, yeah, essentially. Give me your soul, because I like it. I like souls. I mean, it's already Timesplitters already has my soul, your soul, everybody else's soul.
And they've got the time travel aspect, so they can go back and get some historic souls for it.
They go to the future and get doomed souls for it. How would that work if he stole souls from the future? Would they still exist now?
I'm not really sure. I think it's on a different plane, so I'm gonna say yes because of Doctor Who.
It always comes down to Doctor Who.
It always does.
Michael, thank you immensely for being on the show. I love talking to you, and I love getting to the heart of another Timesplitters fan because, let's face it, it really is one of the best games ever created, and it's just kind of sitting in oblivion right now. So hopefully this is going to really bring it back to light so people get away from the cookie-cutter Call of Duty Modern Warfare shooters. I mean, let's face it, there's only so many people you can shoot in the head.
Plus, he loves monkeys and whale fingers.
Yeah, apparently I do. So they can go to timesplittersrewind.com is the website, correct?
Yes. Oh, tsrewind.com is probably the easiest way. tsrewind.com.
So you could follow Michael and the whole crew there and see how it comes to be. And dude, this was fun. I look forward to maybe getting you on closer to the game's launch so we can talk about it again, so we can compare notes and how it's extended and developed and ready to be released.
Give people a little bit more tease.
A little bit more tease.
Absolutely.
You're really good about that. So thanks, Michael, for the time. We'll talk again in the future. And hopefully Chris Rachel will get to experience Timesplitters at some point in time.
I love me some time travel, so I'm down for it.
Strap her down and make her play it anyways.
I think she just likes the idea of
strapped me down and makes me do things. Bad things happen.
Yeah, she's not really good with straps sometimes. Yeah, we're not allowed to have those around.
Duct tape, on the other hand.
Okay, duct tape.
Yeah, we'll duct tape her down. So have a great evening and good luck on the project.
Thank you. You too.